G'day, Straya. How are you going? How you going? You good? You should be after that, I'll tell you what. Because basketball, give me the ball, because Wemby's gonna dunk it. Yeah! What a game. That's right. It is Tuesday, May 19. This has been the last little NBA Australia for at least a couple of days, so we're going to make it a bloody big one, I'll tell you. Almost as big as Wemby. This is NBA Australia. I am your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios. Mere hours before I get on a plane to the States. So we are going to talk out an absolutely, utterly awesome, insane, all-time classic Western Conference Finals Game 1. Wemby is off his head. That was incredible. Also, Jingles is coming home. How nice is that? We'll talk about that. There's a bit of other... What else is there? Oh, yeah, the Pelicans have a new coach. That's cool. So we'll talk about that. We're going to wrap up the game in the NBA Australia game wraps. We've got That's Not a Knife, Old Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better Than Lonzo, Ball. We'll do some very brief I've got a couple of good ones from our man Paul. And I think I'll just throw in an Outback Takehouse just before I go. And then we'll pick and preview and set you up for the Eastern Conference Finals, which start tomorrow, with our series prediction, 3 questions I want answered, all that sort of stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1408 of NBA Straya. Oh, let's go.
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gay.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Australia.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better watch out for the new hook attack. That's right, the Canadiens get through Game 7 past the Buffalo Sabres. Wait, that's NHL Straya. How crazy is that? Another Game 7 goal for your man Newhook. Canadians get by the Sabres in absolute chaos fashion in overtime. But no, you got to watch out for the Wemby attack. Watch out for the 7'40" French bloke. He might be good at basketball. I'm just saying. Jesus. What a game. That was so good. So let's start today's show quickly with the... how do we start every show here, Jim? Oh, is it with the Daily Whip Around? Oh, yeah, there you go. Jingling Joe Ingles is returning to the scene of the crime. Yeah, Melbourne. Remember South Dragons and young Jingles? Back when he had, hair? That was good. Signed with Melbourne United, which is okay, I guess. 2-year deal. Coming home to Melbourne feels incredibly special. I still love competing. I still love the game. And I believe I can genuinely help this group win. Sure. I love Jingles. I think he'll be able to play. We understand this, right? Jingles can still play basketball. Colour me a little bit of the sort of cynical variety, if you will. Like Bangers coming home, Bogey coming home, if Paddy eventually comes home and signs with Brisbane. Look, that's good. I think it's good. Overall, it's obviously good. It helps grow the game. It gets a lot more interest back in the NBL when you have these like NBA stars on the way back. I think overall it's fantastic. He's also a bit cooked basketball-wise, but you don't have it's a 40-minute game, 10-minute quarters. You'll be fine. He'll be fine. It's just not like coming back when he's like 35. So, but still, I love it. Jingles. I get to see Jingles play for Melbourne United. You beauty. Daly coming home as well. Like, he wins the title finally with the Kangs this year, which is kind of neat. Yeah. Look, I think it's great. I love the NBA stars coming home. Next stop, Ben Simmons. What's got the best fishing? Is he going to go to, like, Cairns? I'm reporting Ben Simmons to Cairns. What about Perth? How's the fishing over there? Let me know, Perthians. Is that what we call them, Perthians? Oh, here we go. Jim's off on another tangent. Remember the other day when I was talking about the wolves and heels? We got to the bottom of that. Dan D sent through an explanation about invisible heels. So I was right, kind of. Incredible. Anyway, best fishing spots in Australia. Where should Ben Simmons end up? I'm throwing this out to you guys. While I'm on a plane, I need some replies. Hit me up. The other bit of news outside of Jingle and Joe Ingles returning home is the Pelicans have a new coach, which I'm kind of on board with. Jamal Mosley. Now, I think there was a bit of a Balabangaro Mosley sort of falling out. It never really properly gelled in any way, shape, or form for the Magic to a degree where everybody's reaching their absolute utmost potential and like the team itself is, playing above itself. It was weird that it always sort of felt like, out of necessity because Paolo's injured or Franz is injured or Suggs is injured or like everybody's injured. We need to sort of go through this adjustment period and then we're going to be kicking ass and taking names again. But when everyone was healthy, like there'd be these flashes of like, do that more, do that. Oh, they didn't do that much. And like, I think Mosley sort of proved himself to be a very good like defensive coach at times. And then this year the defense fell off a cliff. And it's not just because they like gave up Boone and Cole Anthony for they gave up KCP and Cole Anthony for Desmond Bain. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, but the Pelicans, I think with the right coach, you saw it in the back half of this season. There is so much talent already on that roster. If they don't just start trading willy-nilly this offseason, and Joe Dumas has already shut up shop. He's like, hey, man, I want to go on like holiday. Like, I'm just on vacation now, bro. No. None of our guys are touchable. We're going to roll into next season. Jamal Mosley told me. A 5-year deal for Mosley feels a bit rich as well, considering that he did wear out his welcome in Orlando. But it's also a bit of a strange one because it's not exactly like molding a super-duper young team, but it's sort of like a team that's on the up and up in kind of a way that Orlando was. But Orlando was just sort of continuously adding talent. Mosley gets added and was sort of tasked with shaping that team. I think he did a pretty good job. But then, yeah, you sort of get to this point of, I don't know, hit a bit of a ceiling. And I guess it depends on where you think the Pelicans are along that sort of journey, right? Are they still on the up and up? You've got Zion, you've got Tram Maffair, you've got DeJounte Murray, don't forget. You got Jordan Poole's still on that team, which is hilarious. What are we doing? That is pretty funny, actually, thinking about that. But you've also got Jeremiah Zero Fears. You've got Herb. You've got Derek Queen. So, like, let's just see what he can do. It was an interesting choice, but I can't wildly fault it. Like, I think if you believe that he can get what he got out of Orlando, which was at times looking like a super-duper dangerous team in the East, if you can get that out of this team, it seems like a deep, interesting roster. I don't know. I think it's an okay hire. It was a weird way that they finished up there in Orlando, but there you go. Jamal Mosley, New Orleans Pelicans coach. Right, that's enough of that. Who cares? What a game. Jim, get to the game wrap. Okay, game wrap. I will tell you one thing for sure. I don't think I've ever been more excited to go to a basketball game than me going to Game 3 of this San Antonio OKC series like I'm going to be doing Friday. So I fly out tomorrow morning, land 2 nights in LA, then going straight to San Antonio. So fingers crossed, touch wood, all that sort of gear that we get no flight delays and stuff. But all like got a ticket, feeling good. And like hilariously, I think I mentioned this on yesterday's show, right? The Knicks tickets for the conference finals. I did get like a bunch of different messages from folks going, Jim, how much were those Knicks tickets in New York? And I'm like, well, I didn't get any because they were $2,500 for like nosebleed. Like we're talking proper nosebleeds, like the back of the back of the back of the back at MSG. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'd probably go a bit high for an Eastern Conference Finals game in MSG, but not that high. I'm not insane. I'm not rich. Bloody hell. Whereas the Spurs, I was able to get like a decent ticket. And this is it. Like when you're buying a single ticket for yourself, those Knicks tickets that I was talking about, like it's $2,800 American for like nosebleeds. Like that's for 2 tickets. When you're buying a single ticket, you get a little bit more, decent options, I guess. And the San Antonio one sent me back a fair whack coin. But after today's game, I'm like, I would have paid like another $300-400. That's pretty good. Flying into San Antonio, staying the night, and then heading to New York the next day. Not going to any games in New York because of the way that it all switched around. The Knicks don't play in New York while I'm there. They play in Cleveland. So that's all good. But the thing is, I think I'm going to the Sphere to go see No Doubt. Love No Doubt. Mate of mine, invited me ages ago. We're going. It's unreal. So I'm going to go back across from New York to Vegas. I got a couple of days after that in Vegas. Not in Vegas, but after that being in Vegas, I could go anywhere. And I might go to Cleveland if they can force a Game 6. So fingers crossed there. I'll head up to Ohio. So, yeah, it's a lot going on. It's pretty fun. It's pretty crazy, but I cannot wait to go to this Game 3 because Game 1 was off its bloody head. This game is an all-time, what the hell was that?
What was that? What the hell was that?
I was giddy. I'm like, I need to remember to breathe. I'm like literally gasping out loud on the couch. I'm like cackling delightedly. This is basketball heaven. Like when this sort of absolute insanity is going on left, right, and center, and you're just trying to track it and keep up, that is you're basketball drunk. That's what it is. You're basketball high. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Stay off the weed, Jim.
Stay off the weed.
Okay, Stephen. But I think this game, where's it got to go? Like this game, Wemby's game, it's got to go.
This is going straight to the pool room.
Because it was just absolutely on for young and old from the get-go. We go to double overtime. It's 122-115. The Spurs take Game 1 in OKC. The first time the Thunder have lost this playoffs. First time they trailed by double digits, which is crazy. And there was no De'Aaron Fox for the Spurs. And this is the fascinating part as we sort of worked our way through this game. To sort of set the scene, it was interesting to sort of see how it went back and forth. 27-27 after one. Castle was good. Wemby was looking really good. No one, everyone at OKC was doing pretty well. SGA was a bit slow. He only had 4 points in the first half. But Chet couldn't get going either. AJ Mitchell wasn't doing that much. There's not much room for him driving or shooting. And then you sort of get to Caruso's keeping them afloat. And OKC, they have these things where they go, we're just going to play all our dudes. And they played 11 guys early on. And you're like, it seems like a bit. And it was. And you get to this point, San Antonio nah, we're fine, right? We're going to play our 6 guys with a smattering of Cornette, a smattering of Harrison Barnes, and a little bit of Carter Bryant, who was awesome. God, he's an absolute brick wall defensively. But anyway, and it's 51-44 at the half, 4 points for SGA. I think it was the lowest he'd had in a playoff game since 2020 or something crazy. And then boom, straight in the third quarter, you're like, aha, premiership quarter, the third. The 1995 Carlton Blues. Chet hits a 3, SGA hits a 3, Dort hits a 3. You sort of turn around and you're like, holy crap, OKC are leading. But then, and this is what was really instructive, I thought, the Spurs didn't wilt. They didn't shy away from it. They just grit and grinded their way back in front. Vassell hit a big shot. He hit a massive 3 to end the third. And they still led by 7. And you're like, oh, shit, that's a hell of a turnaround by the Spurs, right? To get down and to fight back and sort of start getting up and just trying to keep up. That's what it's all about, right? That fourth quarter, they're keeping up. They get up 10, and you're like, ooh, look out. But this is as you're going through this fourth quarter, they're just so evenly matched. They're almost going bucket for bucket for bucket. And there's this amazing moment, 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Harper goes through Chet in the paint. They're back up 70, and you're like, hell yeah. But then straight after that, you get that insane Caruso block on Castle. Weak side, weak source. Love that one. J-Dub hits a really, really beautiful sort of free throw line butter jumper after a couple of free throws for SGA. And it's a one-possession game with 4 minutes to go. You're like, that. It turns like this. That's how good OKC are. But the Spurs are good enough to sort of take a bunch of these punches and they have 3 straight misses, but they're sort of back-tapping. They're getting these offensive rebounds. And it's this huge test for this San Antonio offense. It's what are you going to do What am I going to do with a gun rack? You don't have De'Aaron Fox. Who's going to be your crunch time guy? Can you generate just decent-ish kind of looks? Caruso has this incredible bucket, beautiful passing. Suddenly, after Chet blocks Wemby, like it was a crazy possession. Beautiful passing. San Antonio, 91-90. Caruso's guarding Wemby. You're like, what is going on here? It's absolute chaos. And like the way that the defensive sort of structures were moving and changing almost possession to possession, you're like, this is some insanely high-level basketball. I'm just like, hook this to my veins. Basketball junkie gear. Let's go. Vassell hits a three. SGA gets another jumper. You have the Wemby bit where he drops his like shoulder and Caruso flops everywhere. But Wemby, what are you doing? You're 7'40". Why are you lowering your shoulder and like rhino charging a guy? They spend 2 minutes checking that as well. It's like, what are you doing? Can we not do this? There was like another time where Chet kicks the ball out of bounds and like they review it and they again take another 2 minutes. Just, it clearly comes off his foot. Just shut up and do it, right? There's an SGA jumper. It's 94-92. Wemby knocks over Caruso, right? Caruso then hits a three. OKC are back up. You got less than 2 minutes left. Champagne. I was saying, I brought the champagne. Champagne. Hits a three at the end of the shot clock. Insane shot. The Spurs go back up. There's a floater. There's a turnover. SJ misses at the cup as Castle sort of tries to intentionally foul him but doesn't get called. Wemby gets the rebound. You've got Harper falling over everywhere and he doesn't turn it over. He throws it at the basket, gets fouled at the very end of the shot clock, hits 2 free throws. They lead 99-97. SGA gets fouled on a drive by Castle. It's 99-99, 33 seconds left. Wemby hits that beautiful spin shot, rises up over the top of J-Dub, absolutely crushes it. No timeouts. OKC, 11 seconds. SGA, this is such a good play where he's got the hezzy stutter misdirection where he manages to turn the corner on Castle and get by him and get the layup. Ties it up 101. 3 seconds left. It's like, throw it to Wemby. They kind of do it, but there's like a weird sort of fumble deflection on the inbounds at the end of regulation, and Chet blocks the absolute bejesus out of Wemby's shot because it gives, like that fumble deflection gives Chet just enough time to recover and time his jump and block the shit out of it. We go to overtime. They only score like, what, it's 101-101. I think they only score 7 points each in the first overtime. You have Wemby turning it over. You got this Wemby O-board up and over J-Dub. It's 105-101, 2.5 minutes left. Caruso hits a huge three after there's an offensive rebound where Chet gets fouled, and he's got 30 points at that point. There's a J-Dub leak out. OKC lead 106-107 all of a sudden. Caruso gets a steal, misses the three though, does Mitchell. Turnovers killing the Spurs. It was so hard for them to generate anything good on offense. And then they just go, I think Vassell misses a shot. Wemby gets the O-board, tries to flip it up and in. It drops out, bounces around. Caruso throws the ball off Wemby. OKC ball. They're up 1. There's a minute to go, and they're like, oh, I think we're going to win. SG goes right through the guts. Dunk. 108-105. Champagne misses a three. 45 seconds left. They miss going back the other way, OKC. And then the most insane moment of this game. Wemby just gets the ball, drives, and hits a three from the logo. It was absolutely absurd gear. He hadn't hit a three. I think he only took 2, I think, for the entire game. It was such a jaw-dropping moment. You're like, what the hell was that? Why? You're down 3, I get it. But it ties it up, and away they go, 108-108. Utterly insane shot. 26 seconds left. J-Dub misses the three at the end of the clock. Timeout. They inbound the ball. Caruso breaks it up. Saves the game. Incredible gear. And it's the first double overtime Western Conference Finals game since 1976. Bloody hell. Chet has a shot clock violation. You got a turnover by Vassell. Wemby goes straight through the guts. Sick dunk. SGA hits a three that goes in and out. Drops back out. Alien arms from Wemby just like descend from somewhere. And he just snags the rebound before one of the Oklahoma City offensive players can just get the O-board. And then Wemby gets fouled as he's driving back down. Suddenly, after he hits both free throws, they're back up 4. Caruso, they completely changed the defensive structure. He's left wide open on purpose. They're like, no, we're good. And he's like, I am too open. Oh, God. Misses the 3. And you're like, oh, God. But then the Spurs have a shot clock violation. This is where you're really missing Fox again, just to like really kill the clock. 2.5 minutes still to go. Case and Wallace hits a 3. Boom. 112-111. Harper, though, hits that awesome driving layup. And he's like the first Spur to score that isn't Wemby in like ages. It was nuts. And then he gets slapped across the face by SGA. We spend another 20 minutes checking that. And then they go, no, it's unintentional as he slaps him in the head on his arm on the way down. You're like, all right, call it like that then. That's fine. But then J-Dub hits a 3 and you're like, what the hell was that? After the free throws, the and one from Harper puts them back up 4. So it's a 1-point game again, 115, 114, 120 left. Wemby has this insane jackhammer dunk where he gets an and one. He's just too big for Caruso. Yams on Chet. Chet is like a split second too late. Bang. 117, 114, 118 after the free throw. Vassell, there's like this, the game saver then happens where there's basically a block, I think by Castle, or at least sort of pressures a shot that misses. And then Vassell blocks the absolute bejesus out of Chet. And it's absolutely insane. It was such a good play. It was so well timed. And it 100% saved the game, right? Because, I mean, that just puts it back to like 118, 116 because then Wemby gets an oop. And that's essentially the game. It's 121-14 all of a sudden. Wemby kills the game, then just grabs the ball out of J-Dub's hand as he's sort of going up for the sort of layup. And that's that. It was absolutely insane the way this game finished. So that 118, like the Vassell block on Chet was the game saver. The Wemby 3 to force double overtime was incredible. But the other block, so 43.8 seconds left, Vassell blocks the Chet shot. Before that, Caruso gets pressured and misses like a sort of underneath layup, and it sort of just got pushed off his spot a little bit too far, leaves it just a hint short as he's going under the bucket, and the Spurs win game 1. It was like you're breathless as you're watching it. You're like, what the hell was that? That was incredible. So the Thunder, the big thing is SGA wasn't effectively like really good efficient-wise. It's like, what the hell's going on here? Without Caruso, they're not even in this game. So SGA has 24 points. Jim, that's not bad. He had 12 assists. That's awesome. He shot 7 of 23. And 2 of 7 from deep. 12 assists to 4 turnovers, but he was still very, very good. And like the 4 points in the first half, if you think about that, it was 20 points the rest of the way. So that's pretty good. But yeah, bit weird. And this is the thing. The Spurs have got dudes to throw at SGA. Their guards are massive. They're really good. Like when you're just sort of throwing out there Castle and Harper and Vassell, you're like, and you've got Wemby that you can just like rely on. It's unbelievable. J-Dub had 26, but he shot 11 of 25. So 26 points and 26 shots, 1 of 3 from deep. Chet was the big stinker, 8 points on 7 shots. What do you have? 8 rebounds as well. A couple of blocks. Caruso was the one who saved the day for OKC time and time again. 31 points, 11 of 19 shooting, 8 of 14 from downtown, 2 steals and 2 blocks. I called him Mr. Chaos. Shut up, Reggie Miller. Oh, Mark, there goes Mr. Chaos. Shut up, Reggie, or I'm putting my foot through my TV. I will fucking do it. I'll do it. Shut up, Reggie, you corny dipshit. Anyway, Mr. Chaos. Caruso is such a sick name. Shut up. Hartenstein had 2 rebounds, 2 points and 2 blocks. Case and Wallace hit a couple of threes. He had 8 points. McCain was pretty handy when he came on. 2 of 5 from 7 points in his 18 minutes. He had 2 turnovers, though. AJ Mitchell was the one, and I said this on today's NBA Coffee Run. I think J-Dub coming back into the fold after so much time off again, AJ Mitchell is going to be the one that suffers, and it's going to take a little while to figure out, all right, how does J-Dub fit back into the offense? Does he do the AJ Mitchell stuff? Does AJ Mitchell continue doing the AJ Mitchell stuff when he comes on, or does this all get a bit janky? And it got a bit janky. He manages a 4-4-5. This is a guy who's literally been like the second best offensive player for this team, probably ahead of Chet for the vast majority of these playoffs. So it was a bit weird. to sort of see him sidelined as much as he was. He had a couple of steals, and that was it. The entire thing is such an awesome behemoth battle between these two great defenses, these two very interesting but flawed offenses, and my Lord, because there's 14 turnovers for the Thunder, 21 for the Spurs, and you can sort of see the gaps for the Spurs as they're trying to just execute down the stretch. Without Fox, Castle had 11 turnovers. 11. Set a franchise record. He also had 11 assists. So he was doing something right. He also had 13 points on 12 shots, 3-9 from... No, that was Vassell. He had 17, 6, and 11. That's what he had. 5 of 14 shooting. Harper, unbelievable game for Europe. He was just... I mean, there was a point where he's the one driving, and you're like, that's the rookie. What is Dylan Harper doing? And he makes the layup, and you're like, and one? How? Yeah. Way to go, Dylan Harper. So that was good. 24, 11, and 6 with only one turnover and a whopping 7 steals. Dylan Harper is terrifying. It's unfair to have him, Castle, and Wemby on the same team. Champagne had 11 points on 12 shots. He went and shot... what did he shoot from downtown, Jim? Oh, Jim, are you listening? What did he shoot from downtown? Oh, yeah! Chill! He shot 3-11. Thank you, Champagne. We also had a little bit of a tiny sort of Keldon Johnson, 22 minutes, 13 point. He was very, very good when he was on there. SGA was licking his lips, though, every time he played. Carter Bryant played 14 minutes, was a plus 10. Only had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 points. He went 1 or 2 from deep. But they couldn't do anything against him defensively. It was amazing. Carter Bryant is horrifying. Cornette had played the 9 minutes, 0 points, 3 rebounds. But obviously, the big fella, 41 points, 24 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal. Played the most amount of minutes he's ever played, 49, and was absolutely terrifying and immense. There's no way when he gets the ball and he's got a bit of downhill speed, you can't stop the bloke. It is absolutely absurd. So they go 43% from the floor. I think 41% 41 of 101 for the Thunder. 17 of 45 from deep for the Thunder. What's that? 38% versus 13 of 43. But the weird one was that the Spurs kept getting to the line. Wemby kept hitting his free throws. He goes, 12 of 13. He had 6 of 7 for Castle, 7 of 7 for Harper as well. Big difference, especially with the turnover differential. But it was incredible to sort of watch how OKC got Caruso stepping up. You got a lot out of J-Dub, just not that efficient. You got a lot out of SGA, weirdly inefficient. Whereas the Spurs, despite the sort of inefficiency and the turnovers for Castle, Harper having 24, the two of the young dudes, Castle and Harper, combined to shoot 2 of 13 from 3. But when you got Keldon Johnson hitting 3 of 6 and Champagne 3 of 11, hey, they managed to just scrape by because Wemby is such just an insane unicorn. It was utterly absurd. What a game. What a game.
This is going straight to the pool room.
It really is. So no prizes for guessing who's going to win the NBA Australia Pro Performer of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Yeah, to be the bloke who became the youngest player in NBA history to have a 40 and 20 in the NBA playoffs. That'd be a French dude by the name of Victor Wembanyama. Measurements, approximately 7'40", pretty massive. 41 points on 14 of 25 shooting, 12 of 13 of the line, 24 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 49 minutes played. God, he was good. He's just almost defying words and description was how good he was. There was some sort of weird, the offensive foul was a bit weird and stupid. But that 3, what the hell was that? It was just so insane and so audacious that you couldn't help but love it. Who was Spud of the night, though?
Spud. It is Spud.
be Chet. It was he had a couple of good, recovery blocks and stuff like that on Wemby and, did a good job defensively eventually because he didn't really start off against Wemby. And like when you're having to guard Wemby with, Caruso and J-Dub and you sort of look over and you go, what are Hartenstein and Chet here for? So, their help side defense is amazing. It's a second level to yeah, I get it. I think that might change a little bit here and there. But anyway, Chet, the only 2 shots that he hit were threes, which might seem a bit weird because he's 7'40" as well. 8 points, 2 of 7 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, and 2 of 2 at the line. So 8, and 2 blocks. You're at home. You were completely unheard from. It was crazy. What's going on? That was horrible. There's no other way to put it.
This is horrible. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, a bit of a tough one there for your boy Chet. What about a bit of old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates.
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 Mr. Chaos. Shut up, Reg. I call him Mr. Chaos. Do you, Reggie Miller? You call Alex Caruso Mr. Chaos. Awesome. Please, give us some more completely uninsightful commentary. This is... I don't know if you've ever heard anyone speak more and impart less, you know what I'm saying, than Reggie Miller. Like, out of all the people in the world, he's got to be like top 1% of like the amount that they've talked and how much people have like garnered from it. He's bottom 1%, right? Yeah. I do love, however, the internet when Reggie Miller is just being Reggie Miller. You're like, aha! He has got no mates. I feel like many people feel the same way as me. This is nice to know. So I can't fucking stand the guy. And I'm very, very, very just whelmed by the fact that... So Mike Tirico, great play-by-play. I actually have grown to like Jamal Crawford as well. He's like, that's what I thought about that one, Reg. And you're like, man, that's what you're going to be out there cooking, Reg. You're like, all right, good job, Jamal. It's like, hey, thicker than oatmeal, Reg. You're like, oh, this is good. But yeah, Reggie Miller, get in the bin. Yeesh. How about a bit of a I'm tweeting about this, but wow, I think we might have had more pantsings in this game than we've ever had before. We might have a record for pantsings. Because Vassell just deleted a J-Dub shot early, and it was awesome. I think that was the double hand. There's a double hander maybe. Just deleted it. It was unreal. Wemby, where he didn't leave the floor to basically turn around, change hands, and dunk on both SGA and Chet. That's a pantsin. You had Carter Bryant block the absolute shit out of Isaiah Hartenstein. Hello. That's a pantsin. Chet blocking Wemby at the end of regulation. That's a pantsin. It's like, oh, no, got him. Castle double-handed dunk right on SGA as well. That was an absolute ripper one. Right through him, Castle kadooged. And then Vassell at the very, very death of this game saves the game with an incredible dunk on Chet. It was so clean. And yeah, you better believe that's a pantsin. So I think Chet's walking out of here sans pants. That's no good. So many pantsings. There was other ones that I wrote down. I can't be fuck reading them. So yeah. Who was better than Bronny James, Lonzo Ball, and Gone Fishin' Ben Simmons?
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody, Dylan Harper. It is insane how good he was. Like, you're sort of like watching this game with all the young dudes for the Spurs, and sort of trying to figure out how they're going to really make the most of this moment. And Harper, that drive and one was just such a, I've been playing basketball all my life, it's going to be okay kind of moments. But he also had two like just wildly squirrely moments and turnovers where, well, one that should have been a turnover where he somehow turned the ball over 4 times on that possession where he flips it up at the very end of the shot clock and gets fouled by Chet. And you're like, how did he survive that? It was incredible. He's like being deflected. He's spinning. He's just like, bang, oh, got it, snap. Flips it up and just like half attempts a shot and Chet fouled him. Amazing stuff. Dylan Harper was incredible, though. 24 points, 8 of 20 shooting, 1 of 7 from deep, but that's okay. 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 turnover, and 7 steals. Holy crap, Dylan Harper. That's just, for game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, bloody hell, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll tell you what. All right, so that was the game. Spurs 1-0 in the Western Conference Finals. Game 2 against OKC will be, their Wednesday night, so our Thursday morning. Can't wait for that. Because I'll be on an aeroplane, I think, and then, so I'll miss watching Knicks-Cavs game 1. I'll land in LA. So my pick for game 2 will be OKC at the line. Today we had the Spurs at the line. Felt pretty good about that all game. Turns out that was the right one. So I think, we'll take Spurs. We'll take OKC in game 2. But, holy crap, after watching this game, I could not be more excited to go to game 3. It's going to be absolutely off its head. All right, let's do some very quick yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wertho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to
Australia.
NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
All right, let's do some very quick yeah-nahs. Brought to you by you. That's right, you can still buy us a coffee. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. You get to join the Dead Set Legends Club. You get an awesome exclusive show, which I'm going to try to get up for the Dead Set Legends Club before I bounce. So, yeah, keep your eyes on your emails about that one. Buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. That's our Patreon, right? So you get exclusive stuff. You get to join the Dead Set Legends Club and exclusive content every month. So this one is going to be the best Aussie playoff games and go through a bunch of them. So it's going to be fun. Bit of Joe Ingles in there too. So yeah, hopefully that'll be up before I bounce. Right, got some quick yeah-nahs. Paul Arnie on catch up for the podcast had surgery 2 weeks ago. Paul, hope you're doing all right, mate. I just heard you're off to the States tomorrow. Enjoy. I will. Don't you worry about that. I'm going to have so much fun. How many beers did you have, Jim? 1 million. How good was today's Western Conference Final game? 1. Yeah, nah. Alex Elmer Fudd Caruso wants to rewrite NBA history as the white goat. Yeah, nah. I'll tell you what. He could very quickly be rising up the ranks of all-time Luke Longley All-Stars, right? The role player white dude who wins a bunch of titles. Because Caruso, don't forget, wins one with the Lakers. It's half a one because it's in the Mickey Mouse bubble. But instrumental for the Thunder last year. Incredible today with a playoff career high. Absolutely insane gear. And I think there's like at least space on the white guy Mount Rushmore of role players. Not superstars, right? Like, so GOAT is going to be a bit tough. You've got Larry. He's pretty good. Even like you think about role players, but like Kevin McHale was still a superstar, right? Bob Cousy, superstar. Bill Walton, superstar. And like you sort of go on and on and on. And you obviously look at Jokic, Luka. But like the role player, huge moment white guy is very much up for debate. And so this is one we might kick the can down the road for a bit of a Dead Set Legends Club question of like the best the best white role player goats, right? The one that you can rely on just to do all the stuff that you want on your team if you want to win the title. Caruso is right up there, but there's some other really good ones. Like even Steve Kerr would be like because he had like that one unassailable skill of being able to shoot the absolute piss out of it, right? But yeah, that's a good one. He's got another here. LeBron James should play for $10 million at the Lakers next season so they can invest the rest of the dollars into the balance of the very thin bench roster. I mean, LeBron really, 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 if he wants to stick with the Lakers, and I feel like, it's Lakers, Cleveland, but because the Cavs have made the conference finals, they probably don't pull the trigger on a LeBron trade maybe. But yeah, the Warriors possibly. If he sticks around, I feel like this has got to be the time where he goes, all right, I'll take the mid-level exception, and off we go. We'll just do that. And so can you get us like someone who can play well with Luka for like this year and the next, and maybe I'll win one more title. But it is a great shout, and it's something that LeBron, like Tom Brady, right, did this for years and years and years with the Patriots, and that's why they won another 3 Supies down the stretch of his career. And because of that, they got to fill out the roster with like really, really good players, or at least more so like balance it, right? So you've got decent players everywhere rather than like holes. And yeah, LeBron should be sort of going, well, look, I've made $1 billion. Like, let's just roll this over and I'll go full Tom Brady. He definitely should. That's a great shout, Paul. And hope you're recovering all right, mate. That's pretty rough. Anyway, the other one I sort of want to bang up on again about yesterday, Detroit. Will they go and actually go and get like that secondary dude? Because we can talk about it, but will they actually go and do it? Yeah, nah. I don't know. Like, it depends on what the asking price for a Trey Murphy is going to be. Because like my big problem will be if they get like Jeremy Grant. And you're like, that's not what we're talking about. Right? It's like, here's Colin Sexton. And you're like, again, it's not what we're talking about. And it gets pretty thin on the ground pretty quickly, I guess, for the Pistons. If you're sort of looking around going, all right, who could we kick the tires on? That could be that sort of secondary creator, secondary scorer that isn't like going to cost us an arm and a leg. Or, I mean, if the Pelicans are just going to shut up shop and not have anybody there, it's a bit brutal, right? And then, yeah, suddenly it becomes, can you like pry Jalen Green away from the Suns because that didn't seem to fit? And then you're like, now you're doing the Jalen Green thing. And that doesn't really feel great. The white whale, I reckon, should just be like Kawhi after the NBA come down like a bag of bricks on top of the Clippers. Oh, that's right. That's never going to happen. So, yeah. Anyway, Kawhi on the Pistons, though, would be awesome. Just get him over the hump. Absolutely kill him. And away you go. Right. Unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I understand the reasoning behind Chet, Hartenstein, and co. Sort of, handing over the man-to-man defense of Wemby to Caruso and, J-Dub. At some point, though, don't you have to be like, that's cute. But just maybe we should have our big dude defend the big dude. Because, I don't know. Call me crazy. But if someone like Wemby can just turn around and go, well, if I hold the ball up here, Caruso literally can't reach it. And I can just little hook shot, boom. There's a couple of moments like that, you're like, that's unfair. Anyway, finally, a bit of Outback Takehouse. It's Tuesday at Outback, and you know what that means. Yep, that's right. We found a dead possum on the way to school in kindy this morning, chucked in the back of the bike, fanged it home, made sure she was right, and slow roasted the bejesus out of it. Should be nice and tasty in a little bit. So yeah, slow roasted possum. Goes great as an entree, and it's only at Outback. And it goes great with the flame grilled take. And today's flame grilled take is, I think the Knicks are a bit too confident. I'm just saying, Outback Takehouse, we don't usually like throw a game prediction into Outback Takehouse, but just saying, Cleveland could win game 1. Do you think they will? I reckon they might. Oh, yeah. This is it. I'll get to it when we do the preview, but just keep that in mind. Really quick one. Andrew goes great. Oh, no. Shane Hill, shoot your shot, light him up award. Because of Alex Caruso.
He threw it down. Are you healed? Are you healed? Praise the Lord, I'm healed.
Praise the Lord, for I'm healed. It is the Shane Hill
Shooters shoot.
Shoot your shot, light him up award.
Oh, yeah. Well, not only did Wemby out-rebound the entire Thunder starters today, 24-23, but Caruso with his 31 points off the bench. It's the most off the bench in a conference finals game since Tyler, there goes my hero, did it in 2020. Caruso, however, absolutely went ham to the point where I think we got the Caruso game, which was the J.R. Smith game, right? So we'll start with Caruso. There's players who have dropped 25-plus points and 7-plus threes in a conference finals game. It's J.R. Smith and Caruso. That's now the entire list, which is pretty good. I mentioned the 40-20 game. Wemby's now the youngest. The list who actually of players who have a 40-20 conference finals game is Wemby, Moses Malone, Kareem, and Phoenix Charles Barkley. That's a pretty good list. And then, how about Dylan Harper? I'll tell you what. Pretty good numbers. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 7 steals. Most by a rookie in a conference finals game ever. He's also the first player since Larry Bird with a 2010 5-5 conference finals game. That's a bit of an Andrew Gaze Graham MAMBA award for outstanding achievement in the field of excellence, as well as that Shane Hill shoot your shot, light him up award. I'll tell you what. Andrew Gaze Graham MAMBA.
Outstanding achievement here.
It's just such a good game. Youngest player with 35 and 20 as well. Right, let's do some game preview. Well, an Eastern Conference Finals preview. Let's go. Game preview. Thanks, Inverton Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I'm getting excited about this trip. I'm very excited about sitting on a plane for 14 hours with no kid. Dad, yes, but by myself on a plane for 14 hours. I'm very excited with this. Anyway, we have Eastern Conference Finals starting. Game 1. Now, I've already talked about this. Cleveland at the Knicks. MSG is going to be absolutely psycho. To be frenzied. Frenzied is the right word, I reckon. Cleveland was the 4th highest scoring offense this year, right? They allowed 115.4 points a game, however. 15th in the NBA. Their defensive rating was 15th as well. The Knicks' defensive rating was 7th. Cleveland have already just gone through, Orlando. No, they went through Detroit and Toronto. But the thing is, New York's offensive rating was even better. It was 4th. Whereas Cleveland's was 6th. So, yeah. It's an interesting sort of matchup because you've got Cleveland 13th in pace, New York 25th. But the way Cat has been unlocked, I think the 3 big questions for me about this Eastern Conference Finals is, will size dictate what we see happening? So essentially, can Cat and Mitch Robinson, the other Mitch Robinson, up against Jarrett Go-the-Fro Allen and Evan Mobley, can they sort of dictate the way the game goes? We've sort of seen, Mobley and Allen, we've seen pop off in a couple of random games. Mobley was really good down the back half of that semifinals. Allen's incredible in these game 7s. But can they play with confidence? Can they play with force against Cat, against Mitch, and really sort of knock the Knicks back on their heels? That's right. Do Knicks have heels? No, not that again, Jim. But this is it. That's so much of the sort of conversation of what the Knicks were able to do to Joel Embiid. I don't think they're going to be able to do that to Evan Mobley. A little bit more mobile. Same goes for Jarrett Allen. So you'll probably see a lot more activity around the basket for Cleveland. How Cat responds and how he's used will be huge in this series. The other one is Brunson versus Mitchell. Your superstar guards, what can they do? What can they give us? Obviously, if Brunson can get off the chain, defensively, Cleveland, I think, can be had a little bit. Right? And that's the sort of thing that you look at and go, well, if Brunson can sort of do what he wants, he had a bit of a rough time against the Sixers, but they still absolutely smoked Atlanta in those last couple of games, and then obviously the Sixers. Without Brunson having to do just all the stuff, that's probably good. Probably keeps him a little bit in reserve. Mitchell, I think he's going to find a little bit tougher because what they can do, and this is the third big one, do we get to see more of that Knicks perimeter defense? Is OG good to go with that hammy? He says he is. But between he and Mikal Bridges, you got to remember the job that they did on Nicky Alexander-Walker and Jalen Johnson in the first round, and then how they slowed down Tyrese Maxey, VJ, Paul George in like the second round. It feels like it's going to be like Harden and Mitchell is kind of like, it's a different level of, this is going to be a bit tricky. They know how to like manipulate defenses. They know how to get it, like they can play off each other. It's probably a differing level of challenge, I guess, for that perimeter Knicks defense. So if they're up for it, I think they can win this series. But the thing is, like Cleveland still have like another level they can kind of get to. We've seen it a couple of times against Detroit. They're just wildly inconsistent, which is very annoying. So the other thing that's going to come down for game one, and we saw it today, rest versus rust. You had the Spurs coming off this incredible Wolves series where they've been pushed, they've been tested, and eventually they've sort of won it in 6 against a pretty injured Wolves team, but they're ready and raring to go. OKC's been sitting at home for like a week, having beaten the Lakers, who barely put up a fight. And then again, the same thing goes to the Knicks. They haven't played in like 9 days. Remember the Knicks? Remember that team? Cleveland have just gotten through this absolute dogfight of a series against Detroit. And I kind of think they're just going to be rolling straight into it. Business trip, right? I'm taking Cleveland plus 7.5. And I think the series, I said the other day, right? Both these series could go 7. Wouldn't surprise me. I think I'm still going to take the Knicks. I don't know if it goes 7. I think they claw back. I think they're good enough. I think they can sort of play the way they want. We've seen it time and time again in these playoffs. I am worried, though, about the layoff. I think it's going to throw them for a little bit. Give me the Knicks. I'm going to stick with it. Let's go Knicks in 7. I think they're better than Cleveland, but I think Cleveland will have a couple of games where they just like give them the old 1-2 cost to 0, and the Knicks are like, what the hell just happened there? And I think that sort of big break might not help so much. So there we go. So I'm going to take Cleveland plus 7.5 in game 1. And for game 2 of OKC, San Antonio, let's see if we've got a line for that already. We probably should. And it is OKC minus 6.5. I'll take OKC minus 6.5 in game 2. I think they probably sneak that out and win it pretty handily. But the Spurs, look, they're awesome. And I can't wait for game 3. So, what do we got? I think we're taking OKC 4-3. And we're taking Knicks 4-3. So OKC, Knicks. Adam Silver making sure these go 7. Simple as that. What do you reckon? Good? Great. Because that's it. Oh, yeah. Righto. Well, that's it for NBA Australia for at least a little bit in this current form. I'll be in the USA gallivanting around. There'll be some stuff on the socials. And I think what I said the other day, I might just sort of do a couple of quick recollection-y sort of things and chuck them up. But nothing fancy or anything. I've got the mic, but that'll be kind of it. I don't even know if I'll have the camera, so we might not even do like YouTube or whatever. So, yeah, stick around. I'll still have sort of like post-game reports, just a couple of thoughts or whatever. Might see if we can get some other interviewees or whatever if we run into anybody. But again, I'm also kind of on holiday. So I'll be doing some, just fan gear because I'm just a big basketball fan. Also, what Spurs top should I be I've got to wear a Patty Mills jersey to this Spurs game, don't I? I have to. I think that's the rules for me. I did realize I don't have a Gazy number 10 jersey. I don't know how that happened, but that's on me. Because rocking up to that game 3 in a Gazy Spurs jersey would have been all time, but might just have to be Spurs. So I'll send some photos through. I'll do all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so just bear with us. Week and a half, conference finals. I'll pop up when we can. So bear with us. Your mate Jim has got you covered. All right, but that'll do. So I'm going to be jumping on the plane tomorrow morning. So make sure you're following NBA Australia across all the socials: Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube. NFL Australia, we've got a Jim Does Supercoach going up as well. Footy Unfiltered this week's is already up, so go check that out. Myself and Jez talking all things AFL. Rate, review, star, subscribe across all of your podcast apps. YouTube, of course, is a big one. Go do that for all the shows. You can also support the show, buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. I'll put that show hopefully up today. If I run out of time, it's on me. Sorry. I'll try to get it up. Otherwise, big thanks to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. They rule. So to House Hats, Joshua Delarentis, Fascinated Goldmines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sextra, Green, Green, and Dozers. They're all behind the tunes you hear on the show, so smash them on your music streaming platform of choice. And that's it. Nothing at the end of this one. I've got to get out of here and get ready. So pack some stuff, make sure I'm all good to go. And we'll talk to you when we talk to you, dickheads. There's an NBA Straya saying, I can't wait to Game 3 of Spurs OKC. I'm going to be there. It's going to be awesome. In the meantime, look after yourselves, would you? Hug your mates. And Jim's on holiday. Later, hosen.